Hey, hi everyone. In this particular video, we are going to learn about the nested documents and array in the CRUD operation in MongoDB. So earlier, what we used to do is that we insert the data in the form of key colon value, where the value was either the string, integer, or the boolean, right? But what if I tell you that you can store the data also in the form of the object, array, and other, right? So this is what we are going to learn. So let me take you to the example first. As you can see here, it is db.user. User is the collection name, and then the insert many. Right now, inside of this, what I have done is basically this is the key, this is the value. Right here, the value is a string. Here's the key and the value. The values are definitely an integer, right? But here in the address, you can check. This is an object, means the document which you are storing, right? This is the document which you store, right? And inside this particular document, another document is present, and that's why it is called the nested document. And this is what we are going to understand in this particular lecture. So let's go to our MongoDB shell and try to write the query to insert the nested documents for our database. Let's start. So we are inside our Office database, and let me show you that inside our Office database we are having the collection name users, and these are all the documents which are present inside of it. You can check, right? And now we are going to insert a nested document inside of it. So for that purpose, what we need to write? We need to write it like db.user, same way, dot insert one like this. Yes, after that put a bracket, and let's come on the next line and make a curly bracket. Inside of it we will write all the data that we want. So first of all, I want the name as let's say Piyush Gupta, like this, put a comma. After that, the age is let's say 22, comma, address as. Now inside the address, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an object as a value for this particular key. So for that purpose, we need to write it like this, put a curly bracket, and then again the key colon value, again the key colon value, like city is let's say Delhi, right, comma, pin code is like, let's take a number, so 11001, like this. Yes, and after that just close it, and that's it. You can check that for this particular key the value is in the form of what, in the form of an object, right? That's what we do, right? While creating the document, we create it inside the object with the key colon value. Same thing is happening here also. So here the city is Delhi and the pin code is this for address, for the address. Now you can write again in the other form, like let's say skills. Okay, wait, skills, right? So in the case of skill, you can even use an array. Like for the address, we were earlier using this uh, object, right? That was a nested document. Now for the skill, if you want that the person can have more than one skill, right? So you can also use an array also to store that. So like Java script, uh, like this, comma, let's say MongoDB, like, right? So let's write it like this. Great. Now after that, let's go to the next line. Let's close the bracket and press enter. Also, let's close that parenthesis also. Press enter and you can see object is now successfully inserted. Now let's check our compass, and if we refresh it, you can see in the end we are having our data set, right? This is the, you can check. Now here what is happening, that it is first giving the name and then the age. Now in case of address, it is providing me an object, so I need to click on it the same way I click here, right? The same thing, just click on it and you can check the city and pin code is there. The same way like name and age was there, the city and pin code is present inside the address. Now if you click on this skills, which is an array, right? So you can check array object and two element inside of it. Now index number 0 JavaScript, index number 1 MongoDB. This is how this nested document get inserted inside your database. Right now, how do we fetch it? How do we use while using the find operation? Right, so it is also very simple but very important to understand. So make sure what I'm going to tell you. Right, so first of all, for searching, what we need to do, you need to use the find, right, find method. So for that purpose, we'll write db.users.find, put a bracket like this. And when you are trying to fetch any document, based on the data which is present inside the nested, right, like this address, and inside the address the city is there. Now I want to search the particular document with the help of this city. Then how I can do? I need to take the reference of this address. I first need to mention this address, then need to go to the city, right? Because it is in the nested form. So for that purpose, you need to write curly bracket like this. And after that, address is what? Address is my key, right? Inside this address, there's another key named city, right? So address dot city, right? And the important thing is that while going to this particular address, if you are using this dot and the nested object, then you need to put this quotation marks also, right, in case of object only, uh, right, and then mention it. So Delhi, like this, both the things are in quoted form. Now press enter and you can check I got this particular data where this complete nested or document is present, right? You can check the name, address, skills, and everything is present here. Now what in case of this array? Does I have to use this dot again? No. And even you don't need to use this quotation mark also, right? Then what? Let me show you. Then in that particular case, db.users.find, and then let's remove it. And you just need to use the same way you put the things there. Like while searching for the name, you put the filter like name is Piyush Gupta, like this, right? Even same is in the case of array also. Just put skills is equals to whatever the skill that is present inside of it, any of it will search it, right? So if I want that user.find and skills, right, in that particular case, just write here MongoDB, like this, right? Let me check that. Is it written? Okay, there should be a B in capital, like this. If I press enter, you can check again I got the data, right? So the important thing which we need to understand is that in case of, okay, I think it gone, fine. In case of, let me take you to the notes. In case of object, right, we need to use the quotation mark and dot in between, right, to reach that particular data. And in case of the array, when we are finding on the basis of the array value, you don't need to put any dot and other thing. You just need to mention that particular key and any of the value which is present inside of that particular array. It will search for the complete document based on that, right? You can check, right? This is what we have done earlier. So this is how we deal with the nested document and array in the CRUD operation of MongoDB. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.